Episode 23, here we go. We're live on YouTube. Once again, folks, we took a little bit of a break for Valentine's Day, but we are back. This is episode 23. We're heading really quickly towards that, what is it, a centennial? No, that's 100. Towards that 25th episode. That's a
quarter century.
Big milestone. Yeah, there you go. So we're back. We got some cool things to talk about today. We're going to talk about the raw grading service for CBCS. It's a brand new service. Very interesting. Very curious what you guys have to say, and for the folks in the chat, what you guys have to say as well. We got some great books to show too. I know Chris found some cool things, so he's going to tell us that story. We also have some books coming out tomorrow, so look at those. Some movie news. There's been some Batman stuff, some Logan stuff, and then, of course, we want to talk about a little bit of craziness with Marvel and what the hell is going on with their marketing strategy right now. All right, but let's go ahead and get caught up with the panel here. We got Mr. BostonChris, Buckshot 33. We have Justin, ExileState Comics, who's been busy saving Star City, and we have our Mr. Edwin here, StrictlyComix. So, Chris, let's start with you. How have you been? Catch us up.
I've been good. You know, Valentine's Day was good for me. I got to spend some time with the wife. It's definitely getting to be a fun time. We basically 2 months out from the baby, so it was a good day. Definitely hung out, had some fun, and it was what's funny is I did I think it was my haul video and completely had forgotten. Not that I forgot it was Valentine's Day. I just was like spaced out in automatic mode. I'm like, and check us out on Tuesday. We're gonna be here. So if anybody showed up looking for JLS's live show last Tuesday, I apologize. I almost want to go back and be like, I made a mistake. Don't go on looking for us. We won't be there. Some of us have girlfriends, wives, and all that, and we will get in tons of trouble. So, but just chilling out and getting some got some books over that span as well, and definitely I will show some things off. Actually, I had some finds from my mom's house doing some cleanup. So
awesome. Looking forward to seeing what you got there.
Yes, sir.
Full disclosure, I know a couple of them, and they're pretty cool. All right, Justin, how you been, man?
Doing good. Had a big week last week. I think I got like 20 books. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we had no show last week, so Comically Flawed and I, we got on, man. We chatted for about 2 hours. That was fun times.
Nice.
Nobody else joined us. So we were the lonely two on Valentine's Day, talking about comics and cars.
Combination there.
Yeah, so it was a good time. So big shout out to Adam for that. That was fun. So.
Right on. Yeah, cool. All right.
I heard like Adam's giving out comic books and stuff. Is that what I heard?
And cars.
And cars. It's just me, Edwin, with StrictlyComix, and I'm going to be muting and unmuting because my wife is cooking and stuff like that. But kind of missed it a little bit, being two weeks gone. So glad everybody's back. Sorry about the lack of communication, but we're back now and we're ready to rock and roll.
Sweet. So I heard a little sizzle there. Sounds like she's cooking up something good for you.
We got comics, cars, and food. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Nice. You just don't get that that cooking smell and the smoke in the comics. All right, cool. So I don't know. I haven't really been doing a whole lot. I moved. See a new background here. Yay. Anyways, I had a light week actually, opposite of Justin last week. So I got a couple cool things from that. So we'll show those off later. But the big thing we wanted to talk about right away is a new grading service with CBCS. It is called Raw Grade or Raw Grade Service. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about it, Edwin, or do you want me to? You want to stay on mute and I'll talk about it? It's up to you.
Go ahead and start us off. Okay. Start us off.
Sure. So obviously the traditional grading service is you send it in and your book is encapsulated in a big old slab. But this is a little bit different. You send it in. It's I forget the price. I think it's $6 or $10. And they grade it and they put it in Mylar with the backing board and seal the back for you. There's a sticker on it with the grade. So it's a little bit cheaper. The turnaround time is going to be a little bit quicker because obviously that encapsulation process requires some time. But there are some concerns about it, and I have a couple myself, or not questions, I guess. It's still new. I'll call them questions, just to be diplomatic. But yeah, it seems at this point it's a very divisive idea. It's not necessarily new. There's a couple companies there. You have like CBCS, CGC, and then you get PGX sort of nipping at their heels. So the big three, right? But there's a bunch of other grading companies underneath them. There's some regional ones. Like there's a Midwest grading company who actually does a raw grading service just like this. And then you have, and I think maybe they got the idea from Beckett, who grades baseball cards, right? And cards. They do like a raw grade sort of screen in addition to their slabbing. So that was something with this too, that you can use this raw grade service sort of in conjunction with the grade screening. So like say you set your grade screen, you want to get it slabbed only if it's a 9.6 and above, right? But your book comes back at a 9.4, you can default it to that and have it put in the Mylar and graded. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I did do a little bit of research, and I found out that it is only about a $6 savings when it comes to the actual encapsulation. So I don't know. I mean, I think that CBCS needs to come down a little bit with their shipping, because the shipping isn't any different from the actual slabbed book, which does have a little bit more weight to it.
Right.
When I heard about it, I thought it was a great idea, but I think that with the same shipping costs, it only saving $6, why even bother?
Exactly. At that point, you might as well just throw in a couple extra bucks and get a traditional slab. And here's the thing too, they do a full grade on it, so they check for how complete it is, defects, but they don't check for restoration. So that was a big concern, possible abuse with it, right? Say you have a book with some resto on it. I think the limit for this, the value limit, is like $200 or $250. Say you have a book that's like a key book, $100. It had restoration on it. You don't want a purple label, so you send it in for this. They don't do the resto check. Comes back with a sticker with a say 9.6 on it, right? Sell it on eBay to somebody. Here's a 9.6. It's worth X amount of dollars. They don't know. They don't have a freaking clue. So they buy it and they send it in, and then they get the restoration, the purple label for that. So I feel like because they don't do the restoration, that for me is a issue.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I was getting ready to, I was listening to what you were saying, and really, honestly, that's what I see too, as far as people abusing it, sending in, basically send the book, get the grade, put it on eBay, and then, someone else goes to grade it and they get slapped with that purple label. That's something where I think that may end up hurting the service, as it's just like, they can't really account for what's going to happen secondhand after they get that initial grade back. But I feel like if you're going to go for it and open the service up, then you got to do everything. I mean, and if the restoration service is going to be the difference between, what would be considered for a slab and what's not, then, I mean, why even have it? You know what I mean? It's like Edwin pointed out, it's only saving, a few bucks. I mean, over time, yeah, it add up to a lot of money, but
if you're sending in like 100 books at once, you're going to save that's going to add up to some savings.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, so, and you got to figure out how deflating of a feeling would that be to be like, yeah, I got, Amazing Spider-Man 238, 9.6, bought on eBay, paid this so much money for it, and then go to get it graded, restored. You're like, oh my God, really?
My thing is, I just feel like there's going to be a ton of fraud with this, because I have a really nice label maker. I can print out a sticker that looks just like that with no problem.
Yeah,
ExileState. Like
wow.
I don't see this as a viable option. Like if you're just maybe if you're sending a couple slab books in and you've got a loose book that you're like, I would like to just know what the grade of the book is. Like I could see it as a curiosity thing, more so than people sending in a ton of books to get them loosely graded, you know?
Right. So I was going to say something I just forgot. Shit. Oh, so one thing, because I'm typing, I'm trying to do two things at once. So they do like on-site grading, right? Say you're at a convention and they have a booth, right? And and you're trying to buy some books from somebody. You can walk over there and maybe do the raw grade check with them, so you're sure that you're getting what the advertised grade is. So I think in a case like that, it might be a beneficial thing to use. And the other thing I like too is that they'll do like the prestige format, the magazine size format too, which they don't do for the regular size.
Yeah, I'm listening to everybody, and everybody's already factoring in the how much money I'm going to make, am I going to sell it, blah blah blah. One of the things that I'm thinking about is that this is more for like a personal use, in my opinion, because Justin's right. I mean, yeah, you got an awesome printer, you can just make the same labels and just put whatever grade you want on it. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at like this is just for the person that wants to personally get their stuff graded, that doesn't want to go through all the slabbing process, because you are going to get a lot of fraud. You're going to get a lot of ups and downs with this whole process. But I think just like anything else, it's gonna level and balance itself out as time goes on. But this is more for the curious person that doesn't really know how to grade too well, or thinks that they do know how to grade very well until they get that book back and it says whatever it says. But I see a lot of potential here. I mean, because it is a little bit cheaper. And like Chris was saying, I submit books to CBCS, and the more you submit, the cheaper your shipping is. And actually gets to that point to where shipping cost just has this flat rate. So like if you are submitting 50 books, you're going to get like this flat rate of like $45 shipping, and it's going to be like less than $1 a book or whatever. So it does depend on how much you ship and or whatever. So there's a lot to think about with this whole process, but I think it's a great idea on CBCS's part. I think it puts them just a little bit ahead CGC until they get caught on and start doing it themselves. But I think it's a good idea.
What was the price difference?
It was about $6.
Yeah.
$6, yeah. Because I just did one book, flat rate through the whole thing. It was like you got, first of all, the process alone is only $10. Do you want to fast pass it? You want to fast pass it, get your book back really quick? That's another $10.
Mm-hmm.
Flat rate, the cheapest shipping I think was about $23, $24. That was like FedEx Ground, something like that.
Here's something else to consider. It's in Mylar.
Yeah.
Which it's protective, but it's not. Say you drop the book, it's got a 9.8 on it. You drop the book, it dings the corner. That thing still has the 9.8 sticker on it, but that book is clearly not a 9.8 anymore. So, I don't know.
I guess these are all questions that they probably should be asking, or should. I mean,
yeah, they're going to need to have a forum.
Answer those questions prior to go ahead and saying we're going to do this service, but. I mean, just for what Justin said, because I didn't even think about that as far as, people just printing up, buying my last printing labels. Here you go,
Well, one of the reading the forums that Jesse pointed out when this news broke, a lot of the people were saying that it's a great idea, but they need to find a way to like seal that Mylar. Because once you bust it open, those little stickers alone on the back aren't good enough.
Well, no, that's what they said. They said they've got like, if the article I read said that it had some type of tamper-proof seal.
Yeah,
that would be
like
on the
super
back.
sticky type of backing to the seal, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure. I have a heat gun. I'm sure I could get that off easy. But
exactly. You have a stove,
there's always ways around stuff. So, but yeah, that was another one of my concerns. Is like, it's not, now you have this book and the grade, and it's not in a slab. If you send it anywhere to have anything else done, it could be damaged,
I tell you what, guys, I actually have a submission that I'm getting ready to send up to CBCS. I will go ahead and try their service. That way I can get it back. We can go over it looking over all that stuff. I'll probably do like maybe 2 or 3 books, just a raw grade, and we'll see how it goes. That way, I'll be the guinea pig. I'll be the guinea pig for everybody, since I already use CBCS, and we'll do like a video on it or whatever.
Okay. Do you have any type of
one thing
restored
go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have any restored books that you know of?
I actually do. I do have one book that's got some restoration on it.
Yeah, so send it in, see what they give it for a grade, and then you can basically test out that dilemma. It's like, all right, so now I have this, and it's just it's really just all to the honesty of the person at that point to be like, this has restoration, or if you're doing it just for yourself. Like, I mean, there's a lot of good that can come with the service, no doubt. Like, for everybody who's apprehensive to send things out for not knowing what it could be, definitely good. But there is a very dark side to this, and we're just brainstorming ideas of what that dark side could be. So, hats off to you for being the guinea pig. I look forward to seeing, what you have coming back from this.
Yeah.
I think what I'll do is what we could do, Jesse, and this is totally up to you, man. Like, maybe let me get a couple, 2 or 3 books, either this week or next week. I'll give you my pre-grade assessment of what I think the book will come back as, and then we'll go ahead and submit it, and then we'll do a video when the books come back.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good experiment. Oops, we lost that. He'll be back. He'll be back. Yeah. So one thing I wish they would do, because obviously the grade, and Lords of the Long Box were just saying this too, like we were just talking about it. It can be damaged, it can be bent, so when you send it back in, they have to regrade the book. I wish they would do like maybe charge the reholder fee instead of like the full fee for it, or something like that, some sort of like subsidy, because you already sent the book in once.
Definitely.
That would kind of help, because I don't know, I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah, because I mean, how easy is it going to be to, you get a book, initially from the raw grade. Okay, cool. It's a 9.8. You send it back in. Oh, it's a 9.6. Something happened, may happen in the mail. It wasn't in our hands that did it, but it's a 9.6 now, even though it was a 9.8 before. And if it's something like you said, if it's something where the grade, goes down like that, and it takes like $100 off the price, I mean, that's definitely something that's going to make people upset. So
yeah. Yeah, I do like the idea of using it with the grade screen. So, like, you think it's a 9.6, but it comes in at a 9.8. Sweet, I want the traditional slab, but it comes back in 9.2. Nope, just put it in the Mylar. Don't bother with the regular slab. That might work.
Yeah, and they're going to work out the kinks as they go through this process with all the complaints and all the pros and all that stuff. So, this is something I thought about a year ago. Like, wondering why nobody else was doing this. And a lot of people of my LCS were like, well, I already know how to grade anyways. I don't need to pay somebody to tell me what the grade of my book is. So I see a lot of potential here.
Yeah.
Chris just sees the dark side.
I mean,
that's what I'm looking at too.
It's true, though.
I'm being pessimistic, but I feel like I'm being realistic here.
No.
Think about
the potential for abuse is great.
Yeah, you think about eBay in general, right? Think of how many books that from people that we know come through, and they're just like, what? I thought I was getting this, but now like look at all this damage here, and someone put this, just a stock photo. It's not what I got, and all. I mean, now that this has an actual grade on it, and or even somebody being, just like Justin said, I'm gonna print, and I'm not gonna get too liberal with the grade, but like, something that's an 8.5, let's just say it's a 9.2. No one's gonna complain. Or some people that don't know the difference, they're gonna sit there, and some people are like, oh, let me just go ahead and get this graded. It'll be all good, and then it comes back lower than what you expected. Like, I guess in that term, I mean, I would be a little suspicious of it on eBay if I saw something like that. I'd want to really make sure that, and it's really impossible at this point to really make sure that what you're getting is exactly what it is. Like, you'd have to, if you're really like, nervous of what the grade is on there, like you may have to, have somebody else like, do another eyeball test and grade it and be like, does it look like this to you? And,
yeah.
Well,
coming back lower, do you feel
let me say this, as everybody's used a U-Haul before, right? Like a U-Haul trailer.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that dolly in the back of the U-Haul that nobody wants to use, because if you cut the tag, you're automatically going to be charged like what, $50 $100 for using or whatever. So I look at it like maybe CBCS is going this route to where like the stickers, the tabs is holding the Mylar in place. Maybe it's like one color, and then once you open it or lift it, it turns like a different color, or something rips off of the sticker to indicate that it's been opened or tampered with.
Or like sprays ink on your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something. So
I just want to interrupt for a second, guys. I want to give some shout outs to people in the chat because we got a lot of really good people in there. Definitely need to shout them out. We got Lords of the Long Box. Thanks for joining us. We have the comic board. Very cool to have you here. We also have Comics Unlimited just joined us, so thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Jack Yo is here, as he usually is. Comically Flawed, 2 of our regulars. Always appreciate you guys being here with us. Chris Ventura also stopped by. He had to go do something, but he popped in to say hi, so that was really cool. And then we had a couple people right at the beginning. I think I said the comic board.
Yep, we got the mayor, Jeff Johnson, in the house.
Yeah. Oh, Backwoods, White Mountain Comics. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes, White Mountain.
Yeah. WMC. Yeah, so, good people in the chat, putting up some good, commentary as well on what we're talking about. So I've just been busy reading what they're saying, too. A lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I'll say on the new grading thing, I guess, we spent a lot. From a business standpoint, it is a great service to provide because no one else is doing it.
Yes.
So they will make money off of this. Even if it's just in the beginning, this will be profitable for them, I can see. And then we'll see what happens with the other ones if they start doing the same thing or what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I do appreciate them, trying to do something different with the industry, not have it sort of stagnant,
Right.
They're trying to innovate.
Well, CGC is forcing them to be innovative, and here's why. Because now what CGC is doing is they're starting to have cons use just their service and have them exclusive to a con.
Wow.
Forcing CBCS not to be able to really do anything openly at a con.
That's across the street.
I mean, it's like evil genius in a way. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I know you don't want to turn your show into an entirely slabbing segment, but I think it's a good thing. And I know that they just have to get creative because CGC is the dominant slabbing company. And it's just forcing the little man to really think outside the box, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. I guess my final thought on it would be, I like the idea of it for people who don't know what overstreet means, right? They have no idea how to grade for themselves, so it's something that they can lean on for that. But have you guys? I know we're going to talk about some books you guys got. Did you guys get anything slabbed in the past couple weeks in the mail or?
No.
No. Yeah, I haven't either. All right,
yeah,
so let's,
give me a minute and I'll go get it, but go ahead.
So at the beginning of the show, Chris was talking about some stuff he found. So you want to go ahead and I'll pop you up on the screen and you can show everybody what you get.
All right. Well, I've gotten a few different mail calls in the past couple of weeks. So I have some stuff that I got from eBay, something that I bought from my local shop, and a few things that I found at my mother's house, just doing a little bit of cleanup. So, here's one of my eBay books I bought. Got this. I put it on a video a couple weeks back. So the first Jim Lee cover for the X-Men. So pretty cool. This I picked up from a dollar bin, last week. So, another nice one for $1. Let's see. Another local shop pickup. I got this for $5 off because I had a gift card, so that's pretty cool. And then these 3 here were from different mail calls. So, Silver Age Captain Marvel, Silver Age appearance of Carol Danvers, not her first ever, but and I didn't pay the same price for this. I paid less for this book than what's shown. I got it along with this one here. nice extract. This is where Angel tries to kill himself because he's got his wings clipped, and he's going through some hard times.
Yeah, what a ridiculous cover. Like that, I just never.
That makes light of it, right?
I was just like, what are y'all doing?
the no smoking sign on Angel. Yeah, no, I got both of these combined for I think 25.
It's like a band. It's like an angel band. No angels allowed.
And then I picked up this one for I think it was like $5 total. I've always loved this cover. Really just a cool cover for a Man Thing. And I always thought it was like the first, his actual first issue, but it wasn't. I picked that up a few weeks back. Actually, I'll just show it just because I have it here. So this is the actual first of his own solo book, not his first appearance, but So if anyone's ever looking, this is the first appearance, not the orange cover. That's like series volume 2. This is volume 1. And then let's see, just finish this up real quick. So a few books that I picked up at my mom's house. I was just cleaning things up and came across these, and I was like, oh wow, like I'm surprised that I had these. So Pit 1/2, remember him?
Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be like such a amazing and great book when I was a kid, because it's like, oh, like there's somebody new, it looks cool. My friend Edwin talked me into it, so I went ahead and bought it. And I think I paid like $3 or $4 for that, like back in like 90 whatever. And then this one actually I'm a little sad about, just because I wish I had known when I bought it that it was gonna be something big time, but it was Marvel's the Secret War that they did. And you can see it's kind of beat up and hurt, but this is the first appearance of Quake as I think as Daisy Johnson.
So,
yeah. So had that, and then I found a whole bunch of and I won't show them all, but just like I found this stack of just like the old I think these are from '94 Marvel Masterpiece cards.
Oh, dude, I've been looking for those. Thanks for finding them for me. I must have left them up there.
Yeah, like I mean, these are really nice art on these. So you got
was nice art on that.
And then they let's see if I can find it. So they used to do this thing with them, like they'd have like 2 like special cards that came along with it. One was like a signature card that they kind of like the rare card that you would find, and the other one was this nice shiny one they used to give you. That Daredevil, he's all shining, and so yep, just some things that like everyone's like, oh, like mom's trying to do some trying to revamp and renovate some parts of the house, so you got to clean up. And I'm like, okay. So and I was just like, my uncle was like, oh, you got some stuff here, these might be worth some money, and check this out. I'm like, shit, I didn't even remember I had those. So I'm just happy to see if I happy to grab them. So
Comically Flawed just said something funny. Good thing that card he just dropped wasn't raw graded, because it wouldn't be any good anymore.
I know. See, I would have destroyed. See, and that's why that raw grading is not. No, I'm just joking, but
you can just print out a new label.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Just put the label on. Everybody will just take my word for it.
Yeah. Just put on the ExileState label.
That's right. EXP. That's what you do. You just go, oh man, I dropped it. I'll take off this 9.8. I'll put on a 9.7. Oh, super rare, because you don't see a 9.7.
Yeah.
Value just went up.
Odd numbers.
Just make up a label.
You only do odd numbers for your grading.
Oh, there we go, guys.
Yeah. Just some cool stuff I found, and then a couple of things I picked up while we're away and over the past couple of weeks. So I got videos for all this different stuff over the past few, and then I'm uploading another one a little later on tonight for a mail call I got. So I'll be doing that unboxing a little later on.
Sweet.
Yep.
I found a book. Well, not found. I bought a book on my 2017 list.
Oh yeah, there you go. Let's see that.
Okay.
You gotta present to everybody though.
I'll present it to everybody. Hang on. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm a big J. Scott Campbell fan. I think a lot of people are in the community. Not everybody is. I understand that, but I got this book I've been really wanting.
Oh, nice.
607.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cover I wish, I think that I kind of fell out of I wasn't collecting during this point in time, or collecting as heavily, and so I completely missed that one. So now I get to buy it from afar, just because that is, like you said, a really sought after one, and catches a pretty decent price. So I can't just drop the money for it. But beautiful cover, man.
Are those more affordable now? Because I know they were pretty pricey books.
Yeah, I mean, it does fluctuate depending on. This is a pretty minty copy here, but it's been fairly consistent.
Oh, okay.
In the price. But 601. Oh, it's stuck on Chris.
No, it's on you.
It's stuck on you.
Oh, yeah, it is. No. It's still
He's
stuck
hogging
on,
the camera.
on the stream.
It says present to everybody. Is that better? There we go. That might be better.
Yeah.
See it better now, guys? Let me know in the chat. So yeah,
I'm
601, 606, and 607 are like the three Campbells that everybody wants from this beginning of the 600. So.
Oh, okay.
I have 601 and this one. Now I'm just gonna find 606. That's the one where they're kissing and then Mary Jane's in the background. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What story arc is that about?
I don't know. I just wanted to the cover.
Alex the Comic Book says those are still they're expensive still, 30 to 60 or something like that. So not quite the cheapest books you're gonna come across, but definitely awesome covers. So and congrats on getting one off the list, just because that I think is the most fun part, and I think that's one of the coolest things that I've seen as far as being part of the YouTube collecting, is just the fact that people have those top 10 lists, and it's so fun to see what everybody has in there, and I get excited watching everybody cross them off just as much as if it was me myself. So
yeah, I found this too, and it's J.G. Jones who did the cover art. Who I don't know, you guys might be familiar. He did like Final Crisis and stuff. So I know Alex the Comic Quarter. There's a Supergirl cover for Final Crisis that he loves.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently, this artist came on my radar, but it's Batman and Robin #1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I really like this. It's like a painted sort of art style. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I was looking up on eBay some of J.G. Jones' other stuff, and it's really pretty awesome stuff. Some of it's kind of pricey, but this one's not bad. I think this is a 1 in 15. So it's Damian Wayne. I was kind of on a little Damian Wayne kick for a while there, so ended up picking that up.
I like seeing guys who have that. He's got that kind of Alex Ross type deal going with the hand painted covers, and those I think always kind of bring out something a little more, like makes the issue seem like it's a little more significant sometimes. I mean, nothing wrong with just the regular colored in covers and some just like the J. Scott you showed. I mean, beautiful cover. Just on the significant issues, those those make it stand out so much more, just because you feel like you're getting a piece of fine art as opposed to just your regular comic art. So definitely nice.
It's a piece of art, not a piece of illustration.
Exactly.
Oh, and then I got this too. Another Robin book.
Oh,
nice.
I love that cover.
428.
Yep. Go on.
Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Great story. The other way.
Yeah. I know everybody voted on that. How horrible. Batman.
No, it was one person.
Yep. He was just like, he got an auto dialer, and he was like, you know what, Jason Todd, you gonna die.
That's right. Screw you, Todd.
But he had to die so that he could come back a better hero.
It's true. Even though he was a villain for a while, but
because Red Hood's pretty sweet.
He's got a slight bout of just pissed off sidekick syndrome.
Well, I mean, he was also put through the Lazarus pit, so what do you expect?
He's had it rough.
It's gonna
like him and Dick Grayson sat down and talked about their problems. I guarantee you, Jason Todd would be like, you know what? Enough is enough. Let me just put this down. Killed by the Joker, Lazarus Pit, came back, was pissed off at everybody. You know what, Dick? Take it easy, all right? You don't have problems. I have problems.
And now Bizarro's my best friend.
All right. Last book I'm going to show. It's not anything particularly valuable, but it's just a cover that I've always liked. And I had this with my first collection. Just never picked it up, but it's 164 for Uncanny.
Oh, nice. I've got that one.
Yeah. Really awesome cover.
Yeah.
I think I have it right there.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
binary
keys. Yeah, this is a binary, but a lot of issues sort of around this deal with Phoenix, right?
Yeah,
Like issue
CR stuff.
125 and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
if you guys are looking for some sort of, I don't want to say early, I guess this is bronze, right? Bronze Age X-Men. Look for some of those, Phoenix and Dark Phoenix books. Those are going to be something that I think are going to increase in value very soon when we hear more news about the next X-Men movie.
Supernova.
Yeah, so that would be my recommendation for you.
Yep, I'm gonna have to get that 164, man. I love that cover.
It's a beautiful cover.
Yep.
And like I said, I had it before. I think I paid like $4 for it, so it's not anything like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's never a book that at least I see in the bins. So when I finally found it, I mean, you can easily get it on eBay, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, hey, taking that.
Mine.
That's right, mine. All right, cool. Edwin, you got your books?
Yeah, I don't know if I showed these off last week, but I'll show them off real quick just to give some eye candy to the viewers. This one right here, I got back. It's actually up for sale right now on eBay. It's the Harley Quinn, Michael Turner sketch variant. I had it signed by Chad Hardin, as well as the inker Peter Steigerwald, who inked most of Michael Turner's stuff. And then probably the highlight of my submission that I got back, I don't think I showed this, but I got the 9/9 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sketch by Kevin Eastman, little Shredder sketch.
Nice.
So, man, I love this book. A lot of people ask me if I'm going to sell it. I don't think I'm ready to. I'm not saying I will never sell it, but for right now, this is a part of my personal collection. So, got that.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that a lot. And a 9/9 too.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, Eastman's a guy I'd love to have him do some art. He never comes up this way though. Need him to come up to Boston for a little bit. But who knows? Maybe this will be the year.
Yeah. How did you get a 9/9 on that though?
In the greater in the greater notes, it said I had like minor edge wear. So I don't know, man. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I didn't see it coming, but
That person was just having a good day.
yeah,
That grader had a good night.
Like, you know what, Bob? We're going to give you a raise. You know what? 9/9. Everyone gets 9/9s today.
Yeah. The Oprah of CBCS.
Like, what's missing the cover? 9/9. Don't talk to me like that.
Oh man.
All right. Anybody got any more books to show?
I'll show these two awesome ones that Edwin sent me.
Okay.
Just because I have, but it's Thor 345.
Oh, nice.
Signed by Walt Simon.
Malekith?
I don't know. I haven't read it. I haven't
I got that because it was a cameo of those blue people.
Oh, those blue people.
First appearance of some blue, I forget his name.
Man, so many blue people now.
It's not Malekith, right? No, because Malekith. No, I forget that guy's name. I know you're talking about with the half face.
Yeah, he's got the half face. I can't remember his name.
It's not Malekith though. I know that.
And then another one he sent me that like blew me away because I just, I'm a child of the 90s. It's a signed Youngblood #1.
Nice.
But like I freaked out when I opened this because that era is just so, rooted in my brain, And then I want to show X-Men 2, so I'll show off 166.
Wait. Did you get this? You have to have gotten this. Invincible. If you like that. Okay.
I got it. But yeah, so 166. Since we're going with Shi'ar X-Men fun.
Sweet.
Yep. Did you get the Walking Dead cover with the Wildcats homage?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
Here you go. Hold on. 1 second. Oh, okay. What we got here? I got God Country.
Oh, that's
the Savage Dragon one.
Savage Dragon.
Yep.
There's our Invincible.
Nice.
25 center.
Yeah, which is really cool. I mean, pretty close there, right?
Yep.
Pretty close. Then There's Deadly Class, our Cyber Force one.
Yep.
East to West is our Team Youngblood.
Yep.
Sweet.
And yeah, The Walking Dead is our Wildcats.
There you go.
So
that
there's
was the one I wanted the most, but my shop didn't have anything except there's one of them. I got the Invincible from Midtown. They didn't have any of them.
Yeah, my shop only had Kill or Be Killed. Everything else, like I got there a little late. I got there on Saturday instead of getting there on Wednesday, and yeah, everybody was just kind of. I guess everybody just went wild for those covers. It was just like all the books that literally you all have, and they're all sitting in your bin somewhere, like, and you're like, oh, these ain't worth shit. And all of a sudden, it's like nostalgia. Yes, buy them all again.
Oh, did anybody? One more thing. Did anybody get the Jim Lee variant for Wildstorm?
No, I didn't even see it.
Right here.
This one?
Very nice.
That's a nice cover.
It's based on a Calvin Klein model ad.
Oh,
Is it really?
No, I swear to God, yeah, it is.
it looks like it.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys somehow.
Okay.
But
if you wanna
nostalgia
show us, you
always
can
gets
take me
people.
off being presenter.
Nostalgia always gets people spending money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Should they?
But I mean, good reason too. What is it? The 25th birthday of Image.
Image? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not getting them all.
Yeah.
I'm getting the ones that I like and a couple of the ones that I don't normally buy. But I'm trying to not be ridiculous about it.
Yeah, I do the same. It's just there's a couple of them that I really wanted to get. It's just like just fun to see those covers. Like I do like those cover swipes, and I think that those so sometimes bringing them out every once in a while is just fun. To see like the Batman did one recently. Batman number 16, I think it is. They did a cover swipe of was it New Mutants 87, and it was kind of cool because it was like foreshadowing for what happened in the book, and all the little circles, the
circles, yeah.
So and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like I like the way that they did that. So definitely cover swipes can be some fun sometimes. But like you're right with that one. It's just like you got to be careful because you end up spending way too much money on some of them. So.
All right.
Yeah, yo.
I found it.
All right. The Calvin Klein ad.
There we go. Sorry, had to find it.
Anticipation.
There we go.
Oh.
All right. So, present to everybody. There we go. All right. So that's the picture,
Yep.
and that's the ad.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I mean,
Is that from the 90s?
Picture. It looks very 90s, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at
it
his
has to be the
jeans,
90s.
yeah.
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 There's another one coming out next month for Grifter, but I really don't want to show that one here. That's also a ad picture.
Well, I don't know. I've seen the Grifter picture,
Yeah.
but I don't know what ad it's for.
Okay. It's that one.
Oh, Biba.
Yep. That's Grifter. Look,
Oh.
there he's holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, so there you go. So maybe that's his
It's-
theme for all these.
I don't want to say this, but is Jim Lee getting lazy? What's he doing?
Putting the Beeb in comics,
He
man.
really likes Kate Moss, I guess.
I mean, don't we all?
I know, can't even blame him.
And look, Kate Moss, the Beeb. Gotta bring him in there.
Yeah. Bieber Grifter.
Man, I don't like Bieber Grifter. Grifter's too hardcore for Bieber. He wouldn't listen to Bieber. Bieber.
Yeah. All right. Since we're talking about a couple new books from last week, let's talk about new books for Manana. Tomorrow.
Manana.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to?
I'm definitely going to be checking out Old Guard #1 from Image. It's Greg Rucka's new book. It's about. I mean, it seems pretty cool. Like we got some people that are immortal. It seems for whatever reason, and how that plays out over time. So looked really cool, and it's an Image #1. So
Yeah.
everybody buy all the variants.
It's cool. They're like old soldiers that don't die, and then people
Right.
catch on to it, right? Yeah, it sounds like a pretty cool premise. Good creative team too.
Yeah, I thought that looked really cool. DC's got Justice League of America #1. If anybody picked up that Rebirth, it was pretty good. Like, it was definitely better than the normal Justice League book.
I didn't read it.
You got the main man in there. The real Lobo's there. Not the fake Lobo. Elektra #1 comes out this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did anybody try to grab
Specific
those?
cover I'm looking forward to.
Which one? The 3? Are you looking
Is it Chiquetto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw J. Scott Campbell did 3 variants or something for it, but I think they sold out like in a second.
Probably.
I saw him it looked really good.
Too.
Mm.
Like Sankiewicz has one. Scotty Young has one. I love Scotty Young stuff.
Yeah.
And then who else? There's a Ferry variant. There's hip hop variant, and the one that you're saying, the Chiquetto connecting variant. So you know,
Check this one out.
It's just gonna be, I guess figuring out which one's gonna be, at the stores, which one isn't, just because sometimes those Scotty Youngs aren't available for me, and I get upset. But what is that?
This is a one-shot by Gabriel Hardman. It's called Belfry. It's a horror story. Airline crashes in the jungle. People walk away, and there's scary things in the woods.
Oh, so Lost.
It's called Belfry. Yeah, it's like Lost, but with looks like it's with monsters. It looks really cool. I definitely want to check it out. It's a one-shot, and it's only $4, so it's not like they went like $6.99 or $9.99. I've heard some chatter about it too, so it may be something a bunch of people are going to pick up, and I bet it'll be fairly under-ordered too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the fact that it's a one shot, there's no commitment.
Yeah,
there's no commitment to like our ongoing series or anything.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So Belfry #1 tomorrow.
Right on.
We'll see if we can drive up the prices.
When I first saw the name Belfry, I thought it was a Batman kind of like, because they have the Belfry in Detective Comics. So at first, like initially before I read it, they're like that it was Image. I'm like, oh sweet, a Batman one shot, but no. All right, I'm gonna get myself off the screen.
I mean, let's see, my most anticipated book tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanos #4.
Now, are you going to try to get the Joe Jusko variant?
Of Thanos?
Yeah. So it's like a Marvel Masterpiece card almost.
Ooh, maybe.
I mean,
it just depends. Like at my shop, it could be cover price. It could be $14,
Yeah.
So it depends.
Yeah.
LCS jacks up the price like that on the first day?
Depends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I've seen some of that. Yeah, mine does that sometimes too. For me, with that book, I'm looking to see how everything shakes out with that battle with the Shi'ar Empire. That I think was the coolest battle I've seen in a while. Like I couldn't believe that he took on they sent everything they had at him, and it was just a crazy, crazy fight. So I'm hoping that there's more of that in this issue, or just more of that to come with that series.
Oh yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Thanos, so I guess I can be a little bit biased, but I do think that that's one of the books that has, a lot of substance as far as, story is concerned.
And the art
something that people should,
awesome.
The art is great.
Like you're getting all those cosmic characters, and it's just like it's just a very solid book. Like it's well thought out. Like the story's there. It's something that they didn't just like come up. Hey, we need to make a Thanos story. It's like somebody had this story and was like, hey, I want to tell it.
Yep, definitely.
What else is anybody looking forward to? Oh yeah,
Sana freaking Takeda, amazing artist. She does really great things. Spawn cover there for Monsters.
Oh wow, yeah, it is. That's really cool. Man,
yeah.
Cursed Words is also coming out tomorrow. Or Curse Words #2.
Curse Word 2. Yep.
That story was pretty cool to me. I liked it.
Is anybody reading The Few? Or Few? No?
I haven't started. No.
This is okay. I've heard really mixed reviews about it, to be honest with you.
Apparently, only a few are.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
There's a few corner box variants coming out too. I don't know if you guys are picking those up. There's a
What's
whole
that?
one. The Joe
yeah,
Desco,
yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Desco corner boxes.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Hulk.
I saw the Ghost Rider one like last week or week before or something. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. The Spider Gun one looks cool. I'll be picking that up, assuming my shop has it,
Cool.
which they probably won't.
Is everybody picking up Solo number 5? I mean,
Oh yeah. Sure. And I'm gonna put it right back down again.
'cause it's in my way of something.
Yeah.
Dynamic Forces is putting out a J. Scott Campbell variant of Civil War II #1 tomorrow. It's I think, let's see, there's Midtown Comics and let's see, there's a Midtown Comics version of it. There's a black and white, and then there's colored version. So I mean, I don't know if people are J. Scott fans. I guess it's one to add to the list. Not one I'll be getting just because I mean, I have the whole rest of the story. I don't need another cover. So
Yeah. Here's another indie. It's by Vault Comics, which most people have probably never heard of, but it's about a Viking warrior lady.
oh yeah, no,
named
I've
Heathen.
seen yep,
Yeah.
I've seen stuff about it. It looks like pretty cool.
Yeah,
She's supposed to fight Odin, I think.
yeah,
I'm gonna get that one if my shop has it now. I
yeah.
didn't even know what that was.
It looks really cool.
Why not?
She has a talking horse named Saga, and then she ends up fighting Odin, who's obviously the god king. It says that they're god king, but he's like a bad in this case.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Definitely. Let me go ahead and add that to the list here. Let me get my trusty pen.
I don't know what the print run of this is, but I'm assuming it was super low. And again, I think this will be an underordered, if not unordered book from
What's
shop.
funny?
So
When I first saw that, I saw the V. I'm like, oh, Valiant book. Okay. Now you say Vault. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, no, that's definitely one that I will keep an eye out for.
Yeah, it's also the first time that I've seen I did the list this week. This is the first time I've seen Vault Comics on there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So hopefully they got some good stuff coming out then.
Yeah.
A new one from Aftershock is Rough Riders of the Storm on the Storm.
the Rough Riders roll.
Yeah. So that's been I've enjoyed that first series. So I don't know if this is an ongoing or if this is going to be a side mini or what, but I will check it out. Aftershock.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's like the usual suspects for Marvel for me, that I'll be picking up. I actually dropped Inhumans versus X-Men. I stopped reading it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
What?
But yeah, I'll be getting Spidey 24 comes out. Hopefully my shop will have the corner box. That's pretty much it for my haul tomorrow. So spoiler alert on my video, guys.
Everybody make sure you're picking up Cap 12 tomorrow because it's gonna give some secret Empire details.
Is now that's what I'm curious about. Are you guys looking forward to that? The Secret Empire.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've been reading Captain America, Steve Rogers, and Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be good, and it's going to it's going to explain what we saw in Civil War II.
All right, so they're not going to Secret Wars us, or so you think this is going to actually have some payoff, not something that they sat there and they build up, and we waste our entire summertime, buying these issues, go into the fall, and then guess what? We're going to expand it by 2 more issues, and then so around November we're just sitting there being like, I spent all this money on this, and
here's the final issue. Meanwhile, the aftermath has already been out.
Right. I hope not, but
how big of a slap in the face is that? Civil War was all the was it 2 months before they got finished, and they're just like, so all this shit is happening, and now this ends, and but so this has already been resolved, and every other book we have, but guess what? See it through to the end. Trust me, it's gonna make some sense, and it's just like it didn't make any sense. I'm more confused now than what before.
Yeah.
But, Uh,
All right. Well, I guess this is a good time to kind of get into the whole like, what the fuck is Marvel thinking right now conversation. So I don't know who wants to take that off, but I know there's some good things to say about this topic.
Well, there was an article that I had seen, and I don't have the link for it right here readily available, but I think it was from Comic Book Resource, and they were saying that right now Marvel was a spokesperson for Marvel was saying that there's a reason why they're not doing so hot, and explained it as, the reason being is because it's DC's sales model where they're putting these books out at the $2.99 cover price, doing a bi-weekly sale, a bi-weekly launch of these titles, and it's leaving the normal fans with not enough money to go ahead and buy the books. So they think that people are buying fatigue because of the fact that DC's just putting out way too much, and the fans can't keep up, and they're taking money out of our pockets trying to sit there and do it like that. I have a different opinion, and I'll let you guys all share what you think, and then I'll definitely go ahead and give my opinion. But that's just what they're trying to say. That's what they are throwing out there as the reason why people aren't buying their books. Just DC is just too heavy on everybody's wallet right now, and what do you want us to do?
Sounds like they're just admitting that DC's better. Like we can't put out a product to match what they're doing. We're screwed. We can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking on Diamond Comics webpage right now, and I mean they're still showing that Marvel is still leading as far as the dollar share and the unit share.
Take out the ownership, though.
Yeah, no, that, and look at number of titles. Marvel has way more titles per month than DC does.
I mean, if what Chris read was true, look, I don't see nothing wrong with it. DC and Marvel have always been up and down for, 50, 75 years or whatever. So DC might be leading now, but it may swing back into Marvel's favor eventually. I think it's a good thing. I mean, y'all know how I feel about Marvel. The whole $2.99 price tag is more in line with our era today, in my opinion. I mean, because they started charging $3.99, then it's going to be $4.99, and it's going to be $5.99, and they would love to get to the point to where they can just charge $10 a month or bi-weekly for a title, because then they would really be raping you. But I think it's fine for what DC's doing right now.
Chris and I were talking about this earlier. Like we're talking about specifically Spider-Man. Issue 25 is a $9.99 price.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then Deadpool, it seems like every 5 or 10 issues is another $10 book on that. So they're trending in that direction. But I feel like it's kind of crazy with all the variants too, because you have, with that issue, for example, it's a $10 issue, and all the store exclusives coming out are going to be like the Comic Exposure, the Art Germ one is $25. You have the Tyler Kirkham one's $25. You have, who knows what else. So these are even those are going up more and more price wise. And I think people are you're starting to see a shift. I've been watching here on YouTube, Facebook forums, and a lot of people are saying they're getting fed up with the prices, with the endless cycle of events, with the exclusives and the price gouging on those. And I think Marvel is sort of starting to hear some of that, but they don't know where to place the blame yet, which is where you get an article like Chris saw, where they're blaming DC, and they're blaming DC's prices instead of looking at themselves and reflecting on what they're doing. So they're starting to that a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard that they're trying to go back to basics, I guess. By the end of the year, there was a a summit, and they were talking about that, kind of going back to their core characters, keeping the legacy characters, but not having them kind of holding the mantle right now. Just maybe bringing them back a little bit, and just having all those characters come back, including Wolverine. But again, I don't think that they really know exactly. They know there's an issue, but they don't know exactly what the issue is or whose fault it is. So
Yeah, I think a lot of it's deflection, just because that wasn't the entire gist of the article. They were just saying that this is what the Marvel press people are saying, that DC is the one that's screwing everybody because with the price point and all the rest of it. And then the article went on to say, when it comes down to it, though, they're charging more money for their books, and a lot of people are getting they're saying that like shop owners and just people have also kind of looked at it, and they're citing the fact that you have these big crossover events that have led to nothing, or just, like I was, joking with about Civil War. It's just like, the resolution was in all the books 2 months before the actual resolution took place. It was just like, dude, what the hell is that? And then, also the fact that, they, like you said, where they're trying to charge more money for some of these, extra ones. And then on top of it too, let's really like break it down and look at some of what's going on. It's just like, you have a lot of titles that don't have much substance. I mean, there's a few titles that are really good, and there's a lot of them, and I know this is my opinion, but there's a lot of them that really don't, hold water. Like when you look at, and I know a lot of people love Deadpool. Like I love Deadpool too, but there's too many Deadpool titles out. There's too many Deadpool spin-off titles out. There's too many. You have two other books that are Deadpool-like characters that are out there. It's just like, so you basically have, let's just say, a grand total of maybe like 6 books that are basically the same exact thing being thrown at you the whole time. And then you have, another event. You have actually 2 events happening simultaneously. You have the Monsters Unleashed event, and then you have the Inhumans vs. X-Men too. And it's just like, those have to come out and shake out to something as well. It's just like, so you have people invested in all these things, and it's just like, a lot of these books, especially the event ones, are $5.99 a piece. It's just like, that's a lot of money. It's just like, if I go to DC and look at it and say, well, I can buy these titles $2.99. Yeah, they're bi-weekly. Yes, I'm going to end up buying, more books over time. But that's not solely the issue. I think that they really need to look internally and take a second and be like, look, this isn't working, and this is why. Because people are getting fed up, and people are having just that whole fatigue of just buying comics, and nobody, whenever I know when I go into my shop and I see a $5.99 price tag, I do get a little bit apprehensive. I'm like, dude, do I really want to buy this shit? I mean, and sometimes I will buy it. I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet and buy this. But there's other times where I'm just like, and I hope that it ends up being worth it in the end. But sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And I think that they just, I'm glad to hear that they're trying to go back to basics. I really hope that they do it, sooner than later, because they have a good idea with the legacy characters. It's just, I just feel like it's just not the right time for them. Like, introduce them, let them build up, and then give them something. But you can't just force it down everybody's throat and be like, all right, so instead of Iron Man, we're gonna have Riri and everyone's gonna love it. Like, no, I don't think so. People weren't happy with Tony Stark being gone. They want, him at least involved in the universe to see what goes forward with that.
Yeah. Imagine how confusing it is for somebody coming in from the movies. Like, you have an awesome Avengers movie, and you get your Tony Stark, and you got, Steve Rogers as Captain America, and you're like, hey, cool, let me go to the shop and, check out some of these books. Bruce Banner is the Hulk, right? I forget the actor's name. Sweet. Thor, awesome. And you go to the shop, Thor's Jane Foster. Mm-hmm. Bruce Banner is some other dude.
He's dead.
Right?
Bruce Banner's dead.
Steve Rogers is the Falcon. I mean, Captain America. And then you got, Riri. Where's Tony? So you're coming in. Imagine how confusing it is for somebody coming in. Like, wait a minute. This isn't what I was watching on TV.
And the Guardians are stuck on Earth.
Yeah.
The Guardians on Earth, and it's all weird. And, if you were a Fantastic Four fan, I mean, that whole mess, and then whatever they're gonna do with the X-Men, and I have no idea how that's all gonna shake out, because I'm looking at it, and it's just like they've already been broken up and scattered. Like I mean, a lot of the main players are in different places, and now I don't fully understand where they're going with it with Inhumans versus X-Men, because I know Marvel wants to push Inhumans because they want to have that TV show, but then you also have the X-Men, who I guess they're starting to warm back up to, but not fully because of the whole licensing and everything. So it's just like, someone got to make up their mind. And honestly, I think that like I don't think you even need to fire everybody or anything like that. I just think that really, honestly, it's just like, all right, everybody sit down and we're really going to figure out what the hell we want to do with this universe. Because that's the only thing I can ever give to DC over Marvel is that DC is very, I think that they're very strict with their universe. They know where, even if they do reboot it, they're strict in how everything goes. And they've always had a good handle on their continuity. Whereas Marvel, and in recent years, definitely has kind of just let things just kind of just go crazy, and then they'd figure, well, we'll just tie it all up by rebooting the universe, and then we'll bring out all this new stuff. But then they go crazy again. It's just like, stop drinking at these meetings. Just seriously, nice cohesive thoughts. Complete sentences. Let's go. Let's get this all together.
Yeah. I think DC does a really good job about with their continuity, pleasing the longtime fans, the old fans. And also the new people, right? And not alienating either one of them. And I think that Marvel could really take a lesson from that. I think that they'll cater or pander to the new people, forget about us, or they'll do the opposite, forget about the new people, but they don't know how to have that balance and please everybody. Well, not everybody, but please the new and the old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marvel's already started to try to bring back the status quo a bit, like Richard Rider's back in Nova.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, if they're going to do it, but they could make this into a really cool event, right? Where all the legacy characters get shipped off to a different dimension.
You sound like one of them.
Yeah, right.
Think about this. After Secret Wars, it was no longer 616, right? They called
it was dead.
Prime or something, right?
Right.
Yep.
They could very easily say that this whole thing is an alternate universe. And hey, surprise, now we're going to go back to 616, which was like pre-Time Runs Out.
Well, this
so
is
they could easily just reset back to 616 and take away Earth Prime.
Oh, yeah, they could easily do that because, okay, well, now it'll just be like, okay, well, Reed and Sue and them finally created the 616. They finished the universe. So now we're going to jump back over here.
Yeah, right. That'd be a cop-out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see him go back to that. And instead of it being, something where you have to explain an alternate dimension, you just create new books. You want to create the new people, create some new books with some legacy characters. There you go. Let them do their thing. And then have the regular 616 continuity continue and just, newer stories, different stuff. Make a hero or a villain for a little bit. Introduce a new villain. Shit, invent somebody new. I mean, the creative minds that are involved in these things have incredible imaginations, and they've been entertaining us for decades. Get back to that. Entertain us. Make us happy. That's all.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons they don't make the new characters is because they don't own the new characters. So instead,
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah. So they make a derivative or a variant of a character that already exists. Whereas they go to Image, they create something, they'll own it. It's created, controlled, and owned. So that's the difference there. I think.
Last new bad guy we got in DC was Telos, and he was horrible.
Yeah, there's all kind of ideas in the minds of all these creators. They just don't want to do it because they're not going to get paid for it.
Yeah. Well, that's why you had a bunch of big people like Remender and Hickman and people that left Marvel and went over to Image, right? They had a big I don't know. A lot of people left. Let me just say that.
Exodus.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm hoping that Nick Spencer doesn't do that once he's finished with Secret Empire. Because that would kind of lead in, like he's doing a few books now. This would be his long play story, like kind of Hickman did with Secret Wars, and and Avengers. So I don't know. That's something to look out for. That he may want to jump off superheroes for a minute after all this.
I'm worried that Jason Aaron might follow suit with that as well. He's one of the last few good ones that Marvel has, and I don't know how long he's gonna.
Yeah, and I'm digging just about everything he's writing over there right now. So
yeah.
That would be very horrible.
I mean, is the whole? I mean, would it be? I guess is Disney the one that's kind of? I mean, I know that they haven't had creative rights like that in a long time. But I mean, do you think it's something where it's just like way tougher to at least even maybe institute a little bit of a kickback for the creators as far as with Disney in charge too? I mean, do you think that kind of really driving that as well, where it's just like, no, we own these characters, you will never get anything, not even royalty, like nothing for you?
I don't
Yeah,
think
no.
it was.
They're a massive corporation at this point.
Mhm.
No, they're not going to change the way they do their business, and
Oh yeah.
they're
So many
licensing.
people want to work for them. All these new and upcoming artists and writers, that they're not going to have a problem finding people to write, whether it's good or not. That's a separate issue. But they're always going to have plenty of people who are like begging, banging on the door to come write a story for them or draw a cover or something sequential.
Mm-hmm.
But how does that work? They say, "Hey, we need a new character." Do you play stupid, like you don't know how to create something because you know you're not going to get nothing for it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do you, I don't know.
Editorial comes to your office and says, "This is what we need. This is what it's got to look like. Make it happen."
We need you to make a new Inhuman. Like, oh.
No, that's when you just start flipping through like old Fantastic Four and find one they haven't used in a while.
Yeah.
They're like, no, his power was really this. Y'all are wrong.
Remember Billy? Everybody forgot about Billy. You got to put Billy back in the books, man. He's good shit.
Yeah. Retcon that fucker.
Yeah, we just never mentioned him. He was standing in the background. You can see him right here.
He's been fishing for a long time. Trust me. He's ready to just stop being a villain again, though. Like he's he's fallen on some hard times, and man, he's mad. So put Billy back in the book. He's good.
You can always just say, well, they were undercover for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Or abducted by some type of alien and throw them in with they were brought to a new planet, and their brain was experimented on, and now he's like just this or I don't know, he was offered up to some magic purpose, and now he's repurposed and has a new outlook on life. He wants to be the savior of the universe.
Yeah.
See shit, Marvel, take notes. Look, this is what we're saying right now. Just anything, just somebody do something. Just keep it fresh, but use the right characters to do it. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah. Did you guys first do the math on this? I mentioned Amazing Spider-Man 25. It's a $10 book.
Yeah.
There's a 1 in 1,000.
Oh yeah.
For it. Do the math on how many of the regular cover the shop needs to buy. How much money they have to spend to get that one book.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, my shop will never have that. And honestly,
that's been $10,000, dude, just on the. Well, we know the LCSs don't spend that much.
Exactly.
They spend about half that, but still.
There's not going to be many of that issue out there.
If my shop says we'll get the 1 in 100, but you better not. Like, I'm dead serious. You better not.
It's only going to be like Midtown, maybe like Mile High Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those.
They're expecting to, or they're hoping to get rid of like 4 of those covers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like that. There was one for Star Wars too. It was like, I don't know the ratio, but it was like a $4,000 or $5,000 book when it started, and then it ended up selling for half that. It was like $2,000 or $3,000 it sold for. So somebody ate a big loss on that book.
Well, I'm looking at my local shop, and the stuff they have put. I want to say the Walking Dead cover that they ordered a ton of, the 25-cent one, and then Red Sonja. When I went in last week, they were just like, take one. I mean, it's literally sitting there. Take this for free. I'm like, dude, you guys spent $0.25 a piece on it. And I remember they had at least like 400 just sitting on the shelf, because I remember a whole shelf just dedicated to Walking Dead. I'm like, Alan, what are you doing, man? I was like, and he's like, oh, it's not me. It's he's like, dude, he's like the home office wanted to do it. I'm like, okay, like, well. If it gets, really snowy in here, you can, you have some mats, just put them all down and let people walk on them. Because, I mean, like, it's sad to see them, and I know that they're going to end up in the, free comic book day. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get all those. Oh, yep, there you go. So there is some hope. Maybe that $10 issue, even though, if they have so many of them and they're just left over, free comic book day, guess what you're getting? So Spider-Man 25 a year later, here you go.
Exactly. There's a lot of people out there who try to collect. I don't know if you say completist or completionist. I just kind of switch back and forth between the words. Anyways, they try to collect like the whole run, all of Spider-Man, everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that book is going to be nearly impossible to get. And the price on it is going to price most people out of there. So I think that this whole thing right now, it may be a catalyst that really kind of gets a lot more people fed up and a lot more people talking about enough's enough. Enough for the $10, enough for the ratios on issues that maybe don't even have anything important going on.
Right.
You know?
That's true. Because what's going to be the payoff for a $10 book like that? Like, it better be something huge.
Well, that's my thing though. Is like, I collect I collect Spider-Man. I read Spider-Man.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna spend $10 on a Spider-Man comic book.
Yeah, unless it's a back issue.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. On a new, fresh printed book, $10.
No,
No.
because that loses its value as soon
I'm
as
gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip it.
I mean, that will never hold its value ever. Well, I mean, the only way that would hold its value is if you got one of the variants and that was, a rare one, and even that won't hold the value that you pay for it unless you get it for cover price.
But I mean, I'll skip it. I'll wait a few months. I'll find it on eBay for $3.
Yeah,
And
it better not be some
even
bullshit where they bring back Uncle Ben or something stupid.
Even the $4 or $5 issues, I feel like they do with the whole decompression phenomenon, right? Instead of taking one issue to tell a story, they'll take like 3 or 4 to tell the story, right? So spend $4 on a book, and I feel like I got kind of like screwed out of some of the story. I don't feel satisfied with the price I paid. So even like on the $4 price point, it's like, really?
Yeah, if you go back and just say like read an Amazing Spider-Man from the early 90s, right? And go read Amazing Spider-Man right now. You'll see how much more story they packed in, how much more a story progresses in the 90s versus now.
They had like the overall plot for the run, but then I felt like each issue had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Right. And you're right, there was a lot more narration, a lot more dialogue, a lot more, it took 20, 30 minutes to read a book. Now it takes 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, that blows me away. I'll pick up this, this huge, like last week. Last week was 20 books, and it didn't really take me that long to read them, and it should have. It should have. The investment I made should have cost more time to read than what it did.
Yep. I mean, it's the same thing too. It's like, you read Silver Age and Bronze Age books. I think the Bronze Age might be a little bit more wordy than Silver Age, but like, I mean, there's some Bronze Age books where it's like, you got to sit down and like park yourself and be like, okay, let me just read. Cause I mean, they have
the soap operas that Chris Claremont was doing.
Yeah. Like the Mighty Thors, like some of those are just like, holy crap, I need to take a nap before I finish reading the book.
Exactly, because you have the actual word bubbles, the thought bubbles, the setup on the side. Guess what? This happened back on this issue, and this is what we're referencing over here. It's just like, I mean, there's a ton of stuff to look at. Not even just the art. It's just like, they were definitely heavy lift. Some of them were a little bit of heavy lifting when it came to trying to read those books, and I appreciate that though, just because those are the kind of books where you can go back and read 3, 4, 5 times and find something new. I'm like, oh, dude, so this is okay. Yep, I understand this a little better now. Why this is happening? What these ones, really, honestly, like 1 or 2 read throughs, and you've seen everything. There's really not too many other angles that you need to like look at something from. Like, oh yeah, just like, all right, first time. Oh, I missed this. All right, good. Yep, I'm all caught up. Here we go. Next issue.
But don't you think it has a lot to do with us having such a short attention span?
Depends. I mean, just because we focus on what we have in front of us, I think. I mean, you look at the collection. I mean, as far as being collectors are concerned, I mean, if you've been doing this for a long time, and you've had a lot of focus, especially if you've read every book that you own. You have a ton of focus. You've actually sat down and parked and read all those books. So it's just the way that they think everybody has a short attention span because of all the different things and stimulus that we have in front of us every single day. I think that it's just something where it's more of an assumption than it's actually an actual trait that we have at this point. And Justin's going to follow that up with.
I was just going to say that, I mean, if you're a comic book reader, if you've been a comic book reader, time for reading, I don't think is a attention span thing.
Yeah.
New readers, I could see that. People that only read digital, maybe, but like, it's I don't know. You're reading a book. You know it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Like
You think about it, right?
If it's not, one page isn't going to grab you. If it does, the rest of the story probably isn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta it's got to be a complete story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I'm so tempted from time to time to buy one of those big omnibuses, just this big phone book thick, comic books that has, the entire, volume of, let's say the first volume of Defenders, and just sit there and just boom. And it's just like, and you just see it. And it's just like, all right,
Yeah.
I think about the omnibuses of, and let's say that's like, 25 issues or something like that, right?
Mhm.
Then you look at an omnibus or something that's coming out now, it's going to be like 112 issues in the same amount just because the stories are smaller. And it's just like, I don't know. Maybe you can say that it's because, like you said, you need to actually invest the time to read those other books. And now people don't have as much time. So it's like, I need to just read this on the go. All right, cool. Like I can read this on my train ride into work. All right. Or my lunch break, whatever you have in front of you. I can just read this real quick, put it down, and then get back to what I need to do. So maybe that's the whole notion behind having less story in the books. But I do feel the same way, where it's just like, you read something and it's just like, so this story isn't done at all. I have to get the next issue to really complete what I've just started here.
I think that's what it is right there. Less story, so you have to buy more issues.
Well, and
More
I
money in
think
your pocket.
that's one thing that I don't know if that's the reason, but some of the miniseries that have recently been coming out from Marvel have been really good. Like Thanos, Unworthy Thor. I know they're playing off other stories and stuff like that, but because it gives the writer maybe that defined 5 issues to tell your story, instead of, well, you can tell it and then we'll have a guest guy come in for 2 issues. You can take a break and then you can come back in for a couple more and you can just spread this thing out as far as you want,
Yep. I mean, you got to tell a story, do it in, whatever fashion you need to. You have, versus like you said, you have 5 episodes. I mean, you have 5 issues set over the course of 6 months. So pack it in, buddy. Get as much story as you can in these things, and then we're gonna go from there.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's be fair, since we're bashing on Marvel here. What's going on with DC? And what I mean by DC is their cinematic universe. There's been a lot of shakeup with the Batman movie, right? Affleck's gone. Matt Reeves was the on the short list, right? He was like their first choice to be the replacement director, and he said, "Nope, I'm not doing it." So,
I've always I've said it before, and I hope that just for the mere fact that DC has such rich history as far as comics are concerned and can tell amazing stories, they got to put them on screen the right way. And it makes me wonder if you have people that are just flat out saying no, knowing how hot of a property that comic book movies are. It makes me wonder if it's a sinking ship for DC. Like literally, it's just like, all right, you know what? Stick to the animated features and just get out of the live action for now, or just stick with television for a while, or do I really do think that it's something where the execs that are in charge of Warner Brothers really need to just loosen up on those purse strings and be like, look, we're gonna let you make the movie you want to make. Go ahead and do this, and stick to the story. We'll oversee, but we're not gonna get fully involved. I think that's what they need to do.
Or here's my thing. They're trying to, DC Cinematic Universe is trying to be Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Yep.
DC's key has always been that they've had Batman movies, they've had Superman movies. They don't cross over. Why are you making? They're forcing them to cross over now, and that's where we're getting all of the horrible stories. That's where we're getting the movies where they're just cramming more stuff in. Man, just go back. Give us a standalone Wonder Woman movie. Give us a standalone Batman trilogy again. That's okay. They don't have to cross over.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you want to be different, you had it, and now you're trying to be the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's true.
But see, I think it's what Chris said. I think it's these big execs and producers. They're trying to run the show. It's like the owner of the Cowboys. He wants to be the coach and pick everything, and he doesn't want the show to run like how it was designed to. He wants to have his hand in everything. And if people are saying no, there's a reason to it, and I don't think it's necessarily has to do with because of the big properties. It has to. I mean, because think about it. Like, you're a director and you want to make your name known, and you want to do something big, and you have this opportunity to be a part of DC, Warner Brothers. I mean, who wouldn't want to jump at that kind of opportunity? And if people are saying no, there's something behind the scenes that we're not aware of that people just don't, because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, now I do like the idea of what Justin said. Justin talked about, just focusing on a handful of properties. Don't try to go into, Cyborg and Enchantress and all these B, C, D list characters. Focus on your Green Lantern, your Superman, your Batman, etc. Just focus on those, and then just see what happens. And I do like the idea of, somebody had mentioned that Mel Gibson may do, what is it, Suicide Squad Part 2?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great idea, because I always said Suicide Squad needed that R rating.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't mind how Suicide Squad 1 turned out. That was great. But we all know with Mel Gibson, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be rated R. Yeah, all over it. So I think it's a great idea. I would love to see a Mel Gibson Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah. Say what you want about Mel Gibson himself, like him or hate him. He makes some good freaking movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I would be all in for Mel Gibson's Suicide Squad. But I mean, the way the first one went, I mean, literally started out great, and then crashed and burned really, really hard, and never redeemed itself. And the problem that you're gonna have with that, I think, again, is that even though Mel Gibson is, the rated R blood and guts director that makes really good movies, no one can deny that. Braveheart is classic. What was the other stupid
Passion of the Christ?
No.
The Patriot.
Apocalypto.
That's right. How can I forget that? The Patriot.
I know, right?
Yeah, the Patriot was great.
With the Joker. Was it the Joker?
What the hell was that movie? Apocalypto was amazing.
Apocalypto, yeah. That was good.
So he makes really good movies. Like, he knows how to do this.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, and they're all aside from conspiracy, because it wasn't really that violent, but there's other ones that
Payback.
For someone to say that.
Payback was a good movie. I don't think he directed it, but Payback had a really good story.
Yeah, and it's just like, so he directs, the more action-packed, and let's say action-packed movies. He directs those, and the thing is, I think someone like him may be able to get past.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm just having.
Even though it wasn't, I don't think he directed that one.
No.
But even still, even though I think he may be able to be allowed to get that R rating, because I think that they would trust him based on the fact that his movies have sold tons and tons of tickets and everything like that, and they're universally recognized as being good movies. So he could be able to go ahead and get that R rating, I think, which I think what they need. Now, they don't necessarily need to all be R-rated movies. That's not what that's not how the comic book genre needs to go. But I think that when you have characters like that, yes, you need an R-rated movie. Like, you don't need an R-rated Batman movie. That's not really where you need to go with that. But a Suicide Squad movie, yeah, you got villains, killers, crazies that are out there. Let them be what they are. And the standalone idea is definitely, I think, where they need to go again, because even if you look at the Dark Knight trilogy, right? Every movie was separate from the last one. You had a couple elements that kind of intermingled, but they were all standalone different movies. And they're not exploring the characters the way that they need to in order to go ahead and make these things be successful. They just kind of, like everyone else is saying, they're giving you enough to be like, all right, this is the main character of this movie, but there's this big vision that we need to have. And it's just like, the reason that it works so well in Marvel is because they did it the perfect way for their needs, and DC's not doing that. They need to make the movie for their needs, and a connected universe isn't going to work out well for them in that way, just because they're always going to be a Marvel shadow, because Marvel is doing it right. And even if the movies were serviceable or decent, people are still going to compare them to Marvel movies and be like, well, this wasn't as good as this, it's never going to work that way.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of times they're more worried about setting up the next movie or this movie than telling the story in the movie they're in.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, because there's a ton of characters for each. I mean, you look at Superman, you got Brainiac, you got, well, they messed Doomsday up, but
Bizarro.
You got Luther, Bizarro. You got all kinds of characters. Batman is a universe within itself. I mean, so you don't need to do all these crossovers. You got so many characters.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody explain to me this. How are they going to do Gotham Girls or Gotham City Sirens without doing Hush first?
I mean,
Your guess is as good as mine.
You know what you do? I'll tell you exactly how they do it. They have a little, maybe like 5-minute vignette of, Batman in the movie, and they, introduce a little backstory, Hush, like you know what I mean? Just like how they did with Suicide Squad, we have this little vignette that leads you in, and then we're back to present day, and this is where the sirens are and everything, and that's where the trouble comes.
They'll replace like the origin of it. They'll replace Hush with a villain that everybody knows.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. They'll do something like that and just butcher it basically, to where they think more people will know what they're talking about and will be more in for it.
Yeah. We'll do some reshoots, put in some more jokes.
Yeah. So I mean, is that going to be a TV series? Did they confirm that?
No, I think Gotham Girls was a TV series, but Gotham City Sirens with Margot Robbie is supposed to be a movie down the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of down the road, they're in talks with the director for Shazam now, the guy that did Lights Out, the horror movie. You guys see that one?
I did not.
So that one might have a director.
So
I just remember you or somebody confirming that The Rock was going to do Shazam 2, and they hadn't even done the first one, or Black Adam.
Black Adam.
He signed on like early for that, like when Man of Steel was in production.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
For him, it's a huge step.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that was 2013. That's all 4 years ago.
And that was when everybody's optimistic about a DC universe. You know what I mean? DC movies is like, oh, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? I can get in there. I can be a part of this legacy. I can get myself into, however long this is going to last. Yeah, absolutely. Let's sign me up. And now, I'm sure he's not having second thoughts now, but, maybe in a year or two, if Wonder Woman doesn't do so hot, and if, Justice League really, doesn't knock it out of the park, you may see The Rock being like, I should not have signed up for this, but now I'm committed and I have to, So who knows?
I still say they need to do an animated movie, man, because we all watched the Dark Avengers, right? Or the Dark Justice League. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. I don't know, that to me that could have been in the theaters, and I thought it would have done great.
I think that they look at it where they lose something if it's an animated movie in the theaters, and it's just like, they have to go back to their roots and remember that, Batman Mask of the Phantasm was great in the theaters. Batman Beyond Return of the Joker was great in the theater. It's just like, those movies have their place. You just have to, have the faith in them that they're gonna do well, and not think that just because it's a cartoon that it's gonna all be kids that go to them. No, it's like the comic fans are gonna go see it because they want to see those movies.
Shit, look at the Killing Joke. Say what you want about how good it was, but that was in theaters. What was it? Fathom events.
Yeah.
Everybody who likes comics went to see it.
Exactly.
Whether they liked it or not is a different story, but it was all adults in that theater when I went there.
And didn't they even extend the time that I was in the theater after that first day or two?
Weeks or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think that they've kind of lost their faith in those movies. And I don't know if maybe they make more from going, straight to DVD because people can just go ahead and buy and own it. But I mean, I do think that like those theatrical releases have their place, and it's an area where like they are destroying Marvel because Marvel doesn't do that stuff. And it's just like, so how about you have that market and you throw these in theaters too? It's just like, so that way, while you're waiting, while you have the time in between the new big blockbuster you're making, you have a couple animated features come out, and guess what? Marvel doesn't have anything, so it's going up uncontested against other movies that aren't in that same genre. You make this extra money and maybe we throw a little extra money at this director, or maybe we, put some extra money to make some things better. You never know. There's possibilities they're not exploring, and I think that's definitely a mistake on their part.
Yeah, definitely. There's a good example of being sort of innovative with that is in Humans, right? The first 2 episodes are going to be in IMAX, and then it goes over to what, Hulu. So they're crossing sort of the movie experience with the TV experience, and I think that's pretty ingenious, pretty
That
innovative.
is a good idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. Because I mean, how many of us would go see our favorite TV show in the theater?
Oh, dude, Game of Thrones in the theater would be amazing.
For cocktails and IMAX, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, dine-in theater. Or how many people really are gonna, like, say Hulu? Who's gonna sign up for it and commit to a subscription without knowing how the show is first?
Yeah.
So that's a good way to get
Yep.
some money from people still. But
Yeah, and then on top of that too, you have it. I mean, you may lose a little bit of the experience, going from IMAX to just on your computer. But like you said, if you know it's a solid series, and you're like, you know what, this is going to be great. Like if they went ahead and played, let's say like the first 2 episodes of Daredevil in the theater, you know what I mean? People would be like, oh, I'm gonna sign up for Netflix. I want to see the rest of this instead of having it be word of mouth. Dude, you got to check the series out, and I don't think you get as many people that way. I mean, I'm sure you do, but I think having the option to see it live would be a great example. I'm actually curious. So when is that actually happening? Like, when are they going to do those screenings? Is it going to be like right before Guardians or?
I don't remember the exact date, but head on over to comicbook.com. We actually have an article up with all the dates and times in it for that particular show.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd go over to that, comic book and check it out.
See how I slipped out of plugin?
Yeah, no, you got it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a viable website with tons of great information. You got to go check it out.
Yeah, everybody do that.
Great.
Nice plug.
After the show.
And we'll be checking the web traffic, so after the show, go see it.
That's right.
I'm
Google
just
Analytics, people. All right. Speaking of articles over there, a lot of stuff about Logan recently, too, that we've been putting up. So that's coming out. There was the Berlin Film Festival where it premiered. They had some press showings, too. Everybody's saying it's freaking amazing. Really looking forward to it. I'm not going to ask you guys if you are. I know you are. But they actually updated. There was a question about if there was going to be, what do you call it, like an end credits trailer. And then they updated from an hour and 37 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes. Everyone was like, oh, there's 3 extra minutes. What is it? And then I think today they finally confirmed that there is an end credit scene for the movie. Nobody knows what it is yet. But when they did the Berlin Film Festival and the press screenings, they had purposely left it out so it wouldn't get out there. So
I'm gonna guess it involves time travel.
Yep, exactly.
Cable. Excuse me.
Well, we just it's gotta be time travel. Doctor Strange pops in. He's like, "We need her." Grabs Laura.
How funny would it be if Hugh Jackman's last film would be his highest grossing one yet because of the R rating and everything, and then he has all this pressure to come back and do more Wolverine.
I would not doubt it. I think. Well, what are we talking about? What was the first one? X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then the Wolverine.
Yeah.
This one's gonna blow both of them out of the water, box office wise.
I mean, everyone's saying it's a great movie. All the reviews are coming back really positive. The end credit scene would be kind of funny if it was just like you said, time travel. They're like, yeah, we need her to come back, and he's just like, oh, you want us back? And then there's like, yeah, we want you guys back. Oh, let me get my stuff real quick, and all of a sudden, just like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Ah, shit, and they just travel back with her. Wolverine just stuck sitting there by himself.
Yeah. I doubt it will be. I really doubt it will be, but I hope it's something with the New Mutants.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yes.
You never know, man.
But it would still have to be time travel because they would have to come back.
Yeah. Because I guess the next X-Men movie is supposed to be set in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So they can't go from Logan, which is 2025 or something. Without time, that would be impossible, especially if they want to keep X-23 in the franchise.
Right, and you got to worry about, because in that film, how old is she? 10?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, she's small, so
Yeah.
Did you guys ever confirm a toe blade? Was there a toe blade on?
I have not
yeah.
seen it.
Actually, no. I remember seeing just the top 2 claws. I don't know if they did a toe blade yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
There is one scene in the trailer, I don't know if you guys caught it, where somebody's fighting with somebody else and they both have claws, and people are saying that the claws don't match X-23's claws, and that it might actually be either Lady Deathstrike, maybe, or
Dakin?
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine how expensive that book would be if it had Lady Deathstrike? Because Lady Deathstrike hasn't been. What was she in? The second X-Men film. Yeah,
X-Men
what was that?
United.
X2.
X-Men
X2, yeah. And she was crap in that one. Like, it'd be crazy to have Lady Deathstrike in.
Rated R Lady Deathstrike.
Well, she's one of the Reavers. So, I mean, you definitely can have that because that's what happened to give her, the claws, is that, she went and got cybernetically changed. So.
But she's got adamantium claws like Wolverine, right? Or fingertips.
Yeah, it's all her fingers.
Because her dad, I think, was the one that engineered the process or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just sad that we won't get Liv Shriver back to be Sabretooth one more time.
It was good.
Yeah.
Very non-traditional Sabretooth, but it was a damn good one.
Yeah.
He's a great Sabretooth. I mean, just he wasn't all bestial looking, but I mean, he's a good actor, and you know what? I mean, he's moved on to bigger and better things. So, I'm glad for him, just because that was a good launching point for him to get him really out there, and now he's able to make some stuff. So, I look forward to seeing what they do next. And honestly, I think you'll see a new Sabretooth. I think just based off of Iron Fist. I think I mean, with that having the ability, to I guess breathe new life, even though it's he's Sabretooth as Fox. I could see him as one of the bad guys in New Mutants or something like that. Like, I mean, sometimes you got to go back to that gallery. I mean, I would love to see them redo the Juggernaut, because the Juggernaut we got was just, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Like, no, that ain't the real Juggernaut. And he was so like scrawny and weak. It was just regrettable. But
oh my gosh, I remember. I like blocked that out. It was.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, that big. I mean, his helmet was stupid, and it's just like, like, what it reminds me of? Do you ever see Pride of the X-Men, that cartoon? And Wolverine has an Australian accent, and then all of a sudden, Juggernaut has an English accent and everything. It's just like, it's such a bad, just overall bad movie. And then I think it was
without it, we wouldn't have got the animated series. So.
Yeah, but dude, I also think too, like, because I remember looking at the other villains that were in that movie, because that was the third X-Men with Juggernaut. The other X-Men in that movie, I think was like the girl who could sense all the mutants. I think that was Callisto, that ends up fighting Storm one-on-one. That was their like big showdown, and to go back to the comic, and I'm like, oh, such a bad, like, Bryan Singer in those movies had just such a shitty like just vision of what the X-Men were and what they were supposed to be. And just, I mean, I don't know if that was Fox again, Fox or another studio being like, look, this is a story you're gonna tell, don't worry about it, we're gonna make tons of money, like, people are gonna come out and see this. And it's just like, no, we're gonna make fun of this for the rest of our lives, all the true comic fans, because, like, I own the stories that you're trying to tell, and I don't like the way you did it. Bad.
Yeah. All right, guys, it is getting towards that time where we have to give our final shout outs and thoughts here, and get ready for tomorrow. Big day, big New Comic Wednesday.
It always is.
Yeah, man. So who wants to kick it off with some final shout outs?
I will start it off. I want to shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel. It was a really fun show, really great show, and everybody in the chat. Thank you guys all for stopping in, and giving us that information that we needed to give us the questions and interacting with us and, helping the show, just get that flow that we need to, entertain everybody. Also wanted to shout out to Edwin Sapa Comic Fan. He had a contest over the weekend that he went ahead and drew the prizes for. It was the Create Your Own Comic-Con contest. Really, really fun contest. Awesome entries in there from all types of people. Yours truly included. And just a really fun thing. So check out his channel. He's got tons and tons of video content. Really cool guy. And everybody just have a great new comic book day and see you guys next week.
Sweet. Wait. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay. I never have that queued up. One of these days I get it. All right. Who's up next?
I'll go next. Same thing Chris was saying. Yeah, big thanks to everybody who showed up in the chat. We had people that haven't been in there before. We had people that show up every week, and we love them for doing it. Thanks to all you guys for showing up and bringing your knowledge and topics and what we got going on. I'm super pumped for New Comic Book Day tomorrow, so I hope everybody else is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Ready? That never gets old. All right. Edwin.
Ditto for what everybody was saying. Adam, thank you so much for joining in. Comically Flawed, he's always here. You guys definitely got me thinking, man. I'm definitely looking forward to this whole raw grading service by CBCS, and I'm already thinking about books to submit so that we could do this with JLS Comics and see from beginning to end what this whole process is like. So really, really looking forward to that. Also, I should have plugged this in earlier. I'm getting ready to sell all my Walking Dead stuff. It's just that season. I don't have anything crazy. I got about from 95 or 96 all the way to like 150, 160. So I'm getting ready to sell all my Walking Dead stuff. So keep an eye out for that on my channel, on my eBay store, and on my Instagram as well. So
all right.
Other than that, looking forward to next week. And thanks so much, everybody.
All right, very cool. Just to reiterate what you guys were saying, it's always amazing to have all these great people in the chat with us, our regulars. A couple of them been here since the beginning, like Adam and Blackpool, been here, Jack Yo as well. And we had some new people pop in today, which was really cool, like Chris Ventura was here for to name one of them. Shout out to him. He's got a great channel over there. If you guys aren't familiar with Comic Frontline and all of the channels that they have in that universe, definitely check it out. A lot of great stuff there. So there's that. And we have a guest coming up in the near future. I'm not sure if it will be next week or towards the beginning of March, but definitely look forward to that here on the channel. And I am really looking forward to this experiment, Edwin. I think it'll be cool to do it. And I think that we do it quick, we'll be one of the first to actually get it done. So very cool. Make sure you check that out. We are on a lot of different places, not just here on YouTube. You get iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play we're on now, so congratulations to you guys. You're on Google Play. TuneIn, Stitcher, pretty much everywhere. So if you guys have those apps or are curious about taking us in your car where you can't watch us, definitely check that out. We're there. And if you guys have any ideas for topics for us, don't hesitate to reach out to us here. We're all on Facebook and some of the others like Instagram as well. Don't hesitate to shoot us an idea or a question, and we'll make sure to include it for the show. So there is that. And I will just say, finally, collect what you love. You can never go wrong with that. Just stick with what you like, what you love, and enjoy reading. All right, until next time, that'll do it for another episode.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Go buy Heathen. Pick Heathen up.